Good morning, I'm James Gruber. Welcome to the Morning Report for Tuesday the 16th of June. Well, with the US and Iran signing a memorandum of understanding to end the war, it was off to the races for US markets. It was again led by tech shares and the barnstorming semiconductor sector, which hit fresh record highs. The news wasn't so positive for oil, which plummeted, and front-month Brent crude futures are now down about 30% since they peaked in late April. As for what's in store for our market, index futures suggest we're poised to open lower, with index futures down 1.1%. Yesterday, the ASX 200 ended up 1.3% at 8,914, posting its highest close in 8 weeks, as markets embraced risk with the prospect of an end to the war. Miners led gains, with the sector rising over 4% in its best day in more than 2 months. Today, we'll have to see if the relief rally continues, though market futures are telling us that they may not. It might depend on the RBA's decision on interest rates out at 2:30 p.m. today. Markets expect rates to remain on hold, though investors will be watching closely around the commentary around the decision for any hints about the future direction for the economy and interest rates. To commodities, global oil prices slumped to a 3-month low on Monday amid a broad sell-off after President Donald Trump said the US and Iran have signed a deal aiming to end the Iran war. Brent crude futures settled down almost 5% to $83.17 a barrel. Base metal prices were mixed on Monday. Copper futures rose 0.8% on expectations the Iran agreement will help global economic growth. Meanwhile, aluminium futures slumped to its lowest level in over 2 months, down over 4%, as the US-Iran deal eased supply concerns. Let's now look at currencies. The Aussie dollar was last trading higher, with $1 Australian dollar buying 70.73 US cents. Let's get a wrap up of what's happened overseas with markets. The Dow Jones index finished up 0.9%, the S&P 500 was 1.7% higher, and the Nasdaq added over 3%. Closer look at the trading day there. US share markets rose, with the Dow marking a record high close after the US and Iran struck a preliminary agreement to end the Middle East war and reopen the Strait of Hormuz. 7 of the 11 major S&P 500 sectors were in the green, with the tech index leading the advance with a 3.4% gain. The Philadelphia Semiconductor Index hit a record high and rose 5.5%, with chip giant Nvidia up 3.5%. Memory chip makers reached record highs, with Micron soaring almost 11% after multiple brokerages raised their price targets. The fall in oil prices aided shares of energy-sensitive airline and cruise stocks and hurt energy shares. United Airlines rose almost 4%, while Delta Air and American Airlines added 1.6% and 3.2% respectively. Norwegian Cruise and Carnival Corp advanced about 4% each. Shares of oil majors ExxonMobil and Chevron fell over 3% each. SpaceX shares were up about 20% after the Elon Musk-led firm ended its blockbuster IPO with a more than $2 trillion US valuation. Meantime, US government bond yields fell to a 1-month low on Monday as oil prices slid, with the announcement of an agreement to end the Iran war. The US 10-year Treasury yield declined 1 point to 4.48%, while the US 2-year Treasury yield dropped 2 points to 4.07%. To the European markets, the continent-wide FTSE Euro First 300 index ended up 0.2%, and the UK FTSE 100 dipped 0.4%. Broader European markets hit a record high, boosted by a relief rally across most sectors. Spain's Financials Heavy Index led gains, among major regional indexes climbing 1.4% to record highs. Germany's DAX index rose 1.1% to a near 2-week high. Banks were among the biggest boosts, adding 1.5% to hit their highest since January 2008. Energy price-sensitive auto stocks gained 2.6%, while airlines such as Lufthansa and Air France jumped 4.5% and 3.4% respectively. In corporate news, Renault Group gained 3.7% after the car maker said it would develop a military vehicle in partnership with defence technology company Thales. Let's take a look at what's on the watch list now. In Australia, as mentioned, the RBA will hand down its decision on interest rates this afternoon. In the US, housing starts for May will be released. In China, there's a host of data scheduled today, including retail sales and unemployment figures. And in Japan, the central bank is expected to raise rates by 25 basis points to 1% today. And that's all for today. For further developments on the local trading session, please tune into the CommSec Market Update podcast this afternoon and, of course, the Market Close video. Have a great day.